1047 KISS FM. JJ and Rich. Our phone number is 877-937-1047. The text line, you text JJR and whatever's on your mind to 96893. It's Tuesday, December 3rd. Yesterday, we weren't here. Normally, that doesn't happen, but I had to go to a funeral. I want to say my aunt died, but my aunt did die, but it was my uncle's wife, if that makes more sense, because she became my aunt later in life. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
he married later.
By marriage.
Yeah, right? And so, in fact, check this out. My aunt was taking care of her mom who had cancer and her brother who had cancer. And then my aunt got cancer and died before them. They were at her funeral.
Oh my gosh, that's so sad.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the funeral was in El Paso. So it was my whole Mexican side of my family. So I was there yesterday. And believe it or not, I'm the tallest one in my family.
I do believe that.
And I get to the church with my wife, and there's a bunch of people there. And this lady that runs the church, she comes over to me. And we were there like maybe 15 minutes before the funeral started. She comes over, she's like, "Could you do me a favor, please? You're so tall. Would you mind lighting this candle?" And there's a huge candle in front of the church. It's a Catholic church, huge candle, really high, right? I'm like, okay, I think if I step on this stair, I can easily top the candle, no problem. She goes, "Follow me." So the funeral hasn't started yet because they need a candle to be lit. So I follow this woman down the aisle. Look, so like a wedding now. I'm walking down the aisle. Everyone turns to look at me. And I go to where the candle is. And then she leaves. And I'm standing there. Like the funeral hasn't started
Is she
yet.
going to get a lighter?
She's going to get the lighter.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm like, why didn't you go get the lighter before you got me?
Yeah.
So I'm standing in front of the box of ashes, the picture of my aunt, and all these people in black are staring at me.
I would have thought you're part of the procession as they kick off the ceremony.
Everyone turned and looked at me, and I'm standing there. I'm like,
did you wave?
"Oh, I'm so glad you're." And I don't know them because they're mostly her family, right? There's just a handful of people that are my family. I'm like, hey man, I'm just gonna go get the lighter. Oh my gosh,
Tall guy, candle.
Then she brings out the lighter. She brings out a match, and she brings out the long thing that short people use to light the Catholic
So
candle.
she could have done it easily.
You know what I'm talking about? The long thing that's got a hook on it. And she turns and it's got the. And so she hands me that, and then she lights that. I could just put my hand on the candle and light it. That's how tall I am. So she hands me this weird looking golf club.
You have to squat.
So now I got to squat down. I got to light this candle. People are looking at me like, "¿Qué está pasando?" Like, what? So I'm like, I light the candle, and I go back, and I kind of like wanted an applause or something. But after spending about 5-6 hours with my Mexican family, I have to tell you a quick little recap without getting into detail of the stories that were brought up. One, my cousin had an episode with the cartel last week. My uncle had an episode with the cartel a month ago. Somebody else in my family is transitioning from male to female. There was a divorce. There was domestic abuse. There was alcoholism. There was the lesbians.
Sounds like a telenovela.
It was all within 4 hours of this funeral is the information I got. It was crazy, man.
Wow. Sounds like a day for you.
It was,
Judge's
man.
family goes off. Right. Sorry for your loss, too. But
And then I come home and I'm wiped out, and then Nick sends a text, "Hey, man, we're going to take a Christmas photo tomorrow." You know what? I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it right now. Anyway, what about Peyton? So I saw you at a wedding.
yeah, that was insane.
Because I haven't heard you didn't talk about going to a wedding. I didn't know you were going to a wedding.
Yeah, I wasn't invited to the wedding.
Oh.
But I ended up at the wedding because my sister's +1 wasn't able to make it. So she called me last second and was like, "I need you to come through for me." And like, not to toot my own horn, but like, I am the best +1 to bring to places, like, because you don't need to worry about me. Like, I'll go and make my own friends. I don't want to even hang out with you, probably. Like, I just want to go.
That is so
find the
awesome.
bar. Yeah, like, I seriously feel that way about myself. But
No, that's true. It's true. I remember the party we were at in San Diego. Like, we got to that party, and
Peyton already was
you
running
were
the joint.
working the door.
Yeah. So it was really fun, and we went. And this wedding was like absolutely just stunning. Like, it was beautiful. Like, something that I've really never seen before, except for at Rich and Stacey's wedding, right? Like, this is like elevated. But I need you guys to tell me, I don't even know if this is considered etiquette or not, or like whatever. But like, you guys remember at Rich and Stacey's wedding, we had these like really yummy steaks, or like you could order chicken or whatever, a veggie plate, right? Well, all of our steaks come out like medium rare, because like that's the way I think you're supposed to eat steaks at fancy restaurants, I'm assuming. I don't know.
Yeah, if they're filet, that's the way they recommend
or the
it.
filet, that's how they recommend it, right? And so I remember, Rich, being at your wedding, and I remember being like, "Oh my gosh, this steak is basically rare." I like my steak like medium well, like basically kind of on the well side,
like
right?
jerky.
Yeah, I guess so. Sure. Like a dog chew toy. I guess you could say that. Yeah. So I'm like sitting there and I'm trying to like scarf down the steak at Rich and Stacy's wedding, but I wasn't really enjoying it because I felt like I was literally eating a live cow. Okay. So we go to this wedding and I'm like, okay, I have steak and I'm pretty sure it is going to be cooked the same exact way that it was cooked at Rich and Stacy's wedding. So I like asked the server that's like helping us. I was like, hey, excuse me. I was like, do you know how the steaks are going to be cooked? And he tells me they're going to be medium rare. And I literally looked at him and I was like, do you think you can ask the chef if you can make mine medium well? And literally everyone just looked at me like I was crazy. Like that was the worst thing in the world to do. But then everybody else at my table got their steak medium well. And we got our steak and we were the only ones that cleared our plate.
Did you get ketchup for your steak?
No.
Was that wedding on Thanksgiving?
No, A1 sauce.
Was that on Thanksgiving, the wedding, or no?
No.
But that's kind of smart
Saturday.
to think about having a wedding on Thanksgiving. Is it smart that weekend because you have all these family in town, all the people in town? But then again, all the people are in town, meaning they can't be with their families. I don't know. Was it packed?
Yeah, there was a lot of people there. I would say there's probably about 200, 250 people there.
Oh, man, that was expensive.
It was gorgeous. That wedding was absolutely stunning.
Did you price it up?
Absolutely stunning. I sure did.
200 people, fancy wedding. That's got to be
absolutely.
Yeah, that was not cheap.
I went straight to the wedding venue. I said, how much are per plates? And I went and did all the math. Yeah. Because I'm nosy like that. How much?
140.
Yep, just about.
Wow.
Yep, just about. It was like, I gauged it was like 130 to like 145 when I did my little research.
Kyle, how was your Thanksgiving?
My Thanksgiving was interesting. It was good. My brother hosted and my whole family was there. Well, most everyone. But Wednesday before Thanksgiving, Easton came down with like a super high fever. It was about 104. So I took him into the Minute Clinic and they're like, yeah, he's got strep throat. So he was miserable. I'm like, I'm not going to bring him around everyone, get everyone sick. So Scott actually stayed home with him. So it was weird, like not having them at Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. And then Friday happened and then Scott got sick. And then Saturday came around and I'm like, I'm still feeling good. And then Sunday comes around and I'm like, I feel it. I got it. I think we all got it. And then Addie's the only one. And I'm like crossing my fingers. Please don't get it. Cause like their school has their Christmas program this week on Wednesday. And she actually has a speaking part and she's looking forward to it so much. And so I'm like giving her all the vitamins. I'm like, don't get this. Don't get sick. So cross fingers, put out the good vibes.
You need to say stay healthy, stay healthy.
That's what I say.
Don't say sick because don't get sick.
I know, I do actually say that to her. I'm like, stay healthy. Yeah. Don't get this.
Something's real going around though.
For Thanksgiving for me, it's the first time in my 38 years that I was alone on Thanksgiving. Not one family member, nothing. My wife stayed home with Dutch and Jake because Dutch had a basketball tournament. Kemp had a basketball tournament in Hawaii. So I went to Hawaii to be with Kemp. But on Thanksgiving, he was with his team the whole day, the whole night, the whole day, the whole whatever.
So what do you do?
So at 8 o'clock at night, so the plan was he was going to have dinner with his team. And then he was like, Dad, I'll connect with you at 6:30 or 7. I go, great. At 7, he was like, hey, we're still here. At 8, he texted me. He's like, I'm so sorry, I'm still here. And I had I had a table on the beach and I was waiting for him, and I was eating an acai bowl and I was waiting for him. Then he goes, it was like 8:30 because I'm so sorry, Dad, I'm still here. And he's like, I can see you at 9. I'm like, I'm going to bed, son. So I went to bed. First time in my entire life.
Oh my gosh, that's sad.
Was it weird?
It was, but it was also not Thanksgiving-y. You know what I mean? Like it didn't feel Thanksgiving-y, but I didn't have turkey. I didn't have mashed potatoes. I had nothing.
Wow. I bet you Kemp, though, is so appreciative because I remember being back in college and having to be away from home for Thanksgiving. And when my mom came and saw me, it like made my day. Like, even though I just got to see her.
I didn't spend that much time with him, believe it or not, because he was so busy. But we did have little moments. I pick him up and go grab a bite to eat, drop him off. But it was an interesting holiday. Aww. We got a big announcement in about 2 hours, less than 2 hours. So you got to keep listening. Big announcement. Meanwhile, Kyle, what's coming up with 3 things you need to know?
Oxford Dictionary has picked brain rot for its word of the year. It's not a new word at all. I think it's over a century old, but they say usage of brain rot rose by 230% this year. Basically means when your mental or intellectual state breaks down as a result of the overconsumption of material, and they're blaming online content for that. Brain rot because you're stuck on TikTok all day. I think we've all kind of felt that. So kind of makes sense that would be the word of the day or year. So I would think winning $500 million would be a great way to spend the holidays.
Let's go.
Tonight's Mega Millions jackpot's up to $541 million, which means if you took the one-time cash payout, it'd be $258 million. Nobody's won the jackpot since September 10th, which is why it's gotten to this point. It'd be a lovely Christmas present.
Yeah.
It'd be a lovely present for your whole life. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but there was this piece of art that was really expensive, and it was literally just a banana taped to a wall. Sold for $6 million by a billionaire named Justin Sun. He said, he's like, I got to honor this by eating the banana. So in front of an audience in Hong Kong, Justin ate his $6 million banana that was duct taped to the wall, adding another odd chapter to the story behind this unconventional piece. I think if you wanted to, you could just duct tape another banana to the wall.
Probably.
Did you see the vendor that sold the banana was upset because he only got 35 cents?
No.
He's the one that
what a
sold the
bummer.
banana, and then somebody took the banana, hung it up on a wall, and then this guy paid $6.2 million for it.
It wasn't
Wow.
art till it got hung up on the wall. It was just a
Wasn't
banana.
art. It was just a banana. Actually, that's expensive. I think bananas are 25 cents. So he got 10 cents more than what it was actually worth. And that's 3 things you need to know.
Let's get to Peyton's predictions. What's the vibe today, Peyton?
I'm going to tell you if you are a giver based on your zodiac sign.
877-937-1047 to get your sign read. Angela, good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Hey, what's your sign?
Scorpio.
Okay, Angela, I'm sorry to tell you, but you're actually pretty far down on the list at number 11 for being like some.
Oh.
You guys are pretty generous though, but if like you've
That sound
earned
like
a Scorpio's trust. They don't just give for the sake of it. They actually need a reason. But if you're in their inner circle, they will move mountains to support you. Quietly though.
Okay.
So you are, just not loud about it. It's all good.
I mean, you're not number 12, just number 11.
Exactly.
That's true. 1 up from 12. That works.
All right, Angela, have a great day. Thank you for listening.
You too, guys.
877-937-1047. Calls right now to get your sign read. Christy, good morning. What's your sign?
Good morning. I'm a Libra.
Just like Kyle. Okay, so for my Libras, you guys come in at number 4 on the list, so pretty high up there. Libras, you don't give for the clout. You honestly kind of do it just to keep group chat at peace. So whether it's like splitting the Uber cost or like paying for brunch just to avoid that awkwardness, you guys are natural givers in any social situation, and harmony is your love language.
That's pretty spot on.
Yeah.
Harmony.
All right, Christy, thanks for listening. Have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
How about for Pisces?
Yeah, Rich also really high up on the list at number 2 for being one of the most generous signs out of all the
Oh,
zodiac signs.
that's nice.
Pisces, you guys give straight from the heart, whether it's your time or your creativity or your very last $10. If they see someone in need, they will be the first to whip out their wallet and cry about it afterward because you care that much.
Yeah, Pisces. ... We just care more.
You do. I mean, Rich, you always hook us up with free Burrito Friday, so you're very generous. We love you for that.
True.
What about for you, Leos?
Yeah, Leos, we kind of make our way down the list. We're being the most generous. We're number 9 on the list, so pretty low. Leo's love language is not giving. It's more of physical touch, but we do love giving, especially when we can make it a moment. So expect a Leo to donate to charity and then post about it with an inspiring caption. We're generous, but we also want to shine while doing it. I do not identify with this.
How about Virgo?
Yeah, Virgo, you actually make your way back up the list. You guys are pretty generous at number 3 on the list. Virgos, you guys are the friends who will make you a color-coded donation spreadsheet for the food drive. They don't just give, they strategize the most efficient way to make a difference. And you're basically the personal assistants of generosity. So you have Pisces at number 2, which is Rich, John Jay at number 3 for Virgo, and Kyle at number 4 for Libra.
Wow.
That's
And
pretty
then
good.
I'm number 9 as a Leo.
Oh, this is good. So if you want to know what number 1 is, go to johnjayandrich.com. It's posted up there right now. So very cool. Find out your horoscope. Rich, I didn't ask you about your Thanksgiving.
Oh, mine was great because my daughter Audrey's back in town, or was until
Back
yesterday.
in town.
She's going to school in New York City at the Fashion Institute, and that girl is straight up all New York now. She's been there 4 months.
Do you have an accent now?
Oh, yeah, it was kind of like that. It was like midnight on Thanksgiving. She's like, "Hey, you want a pie? You guys want to get some pie?" And she literally says to me, she's like, "Where can I walk to get a good bagel around here?" I'm like, you're not in New York.
You grew up here.
Yeah, this is Gilbert.
You're not going to walk anywhere. You're going to be driving.
You got to drive. That was what she wanted to do. I said, what's the first thing you want to do when you get back from New York? She's like, drive a car, anywhere. So her mission was to drive to In-N-Out Burger to get In-N-Out Burgers for her and her brothers. But that was awesome. So having her back was awesome. And I did not like break down and cry like I normally do when she leaves town because she's back in like 2 weeks for Christmas.
You get kind of used to it. Like when I said goodbye to my son Kemp over this last couple days, it was fine. It wasn't I'm going to see him in 2 weeks too, but it was like, I mean, don't get me wrong, my wife balls her brains out every time.
Well, yeah, I mean, you still get the little bit of lump in your throat, but I mean, she's in her element. She's found her people. You know, she's found her place.
Dude.
Like she'll probably never move back home.
Really? Oh my gosh, that's so sad.
I can't imagine her ever moving.
I miss Audrey. My kids miss Audrey.
well, she'll be home for like a whole month and a half for Christmas break, so you'll get plenty of her.
Okay. Do you guys have the 360 app at all? You know what that is? So it tracks if you sign up for this app, and then like you can see where people that sign up, like we can see all our kids, where they are at all times, where they're, you know, how fast they were driving. You can see all whatever, right? And over the weekend, because I was in Hawaii, I would check on the 360 app because there was a 3-hour time change to kind of see where people were. And my son Dutch, where I'm used to seeing Jake at his apartment in Tucson, at one point Dutch was there. And I was like, what's Dutch? So Dutch went to the U of A ASU football game over the weekend, right? And Jake was home with us. So Dutch went with his friends to the U of A ASU football game. And I start getting messages from people that listen to the show that bumped into Dutch at all these bars.
Hilarious.
First of all, he's got apparently a good fake Texas ID, right? So I asked Dutch about that, and Dutch says, no, that wasn't mine, that was my friend's. And I go, well, how'd you get in? He goes, I know all the bouncers and bartenders.
Oh, of course he does.
I'm like, what the hell?
In a totally different city.
Because they're all like brothers and fraternity people of people he grew up with. So he's standing in line at Frog and Firkin, and there's the bouncer, and that's the older brother of a guy he grew up with, and they let him in. He's 18.
You know, if he goes to U of A, he's going to have a great time.
Yeah, I know.
Anywhere Dutch goes, he will make it a great time.
He'll bring the party.
Sure.
He went like 3 or 4 different bars.
That's amazing.
Unbelievable. At 18.
That's amazing.
In America.
You better start worrying right now if you're not yet.
Speaking of Kendrick Lamar, he owns the first 5 spots on the Hot 100 this week. His total of 7 tracks in the top 10. His new album, GNX, is also #1 on the Billboard 200. The top songs are Hey Now, Whack Down Muros, Luther, TV Off, and #1 is Squabble Up. And I think Squabble Up, is that the one with all the Drake lines?
I don't know if it is. I think the one that's #2, though, is the one where he screams mustard that everybody is taking. Yeah, that one's funny. We got to do that trend.
Science has figured out how to get a song unstuck from your head.
How?
You ever wish you get a song out of your head? Science created an audio track called the Earworm Eraser. It can supposedly get a song unstuck from your head. It's constantly changing tempos, time signatures, and musical style, so it won't also get stuck in your head. This is it. Science made this. I can't listen to any more of it.
Yeah. It's not very memorable.
I guess that's the whole point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Also,
There's no Baby Shark.
I gotta do this. This is so good. Somebody ruined the song. You know the song Little Drummer Boy?
Yeah.
How's it go?
I mean, I only know the Justin Bieber version.
How's it go?
Play it. I don't know. That was.
So you don't know?
Yeah, that one.
Producers have put together a song of Little Drummer Boy, but the lyrics from Low by Flo Rida and T-Pain, they call it Little Apple Bottom Boy. Apple bottom jeans, boots with a fur. The whole club was looking at her. She hit the floor, the next thing you know, shawty got low.
That's brilliant.
Let's get this mother crawl.
Baggy sweatpants, Reeboks with the straps.
Oh yeah.
She turned around, gave that big booty a slap. I I love it. I think it's
That's
fantastic.
Really good.
What do you got for life hacks, Rich?
Okay, so have you guys noticed at all how people are getting sick everywhere? I bet you have, Kyle.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so doctors have come together and they're saying the biggest flu season, the sick season, is basically the time between Halloween and Christmas. And they say, why? Because of alcohol and sugar. So here are the tips to stay healthy. I don't think you're going to love this, Peyton, but I'm just going to tell you anyway.
Okay.
All right. So a few of the things that you know: wash your hands, stay away from sick people, get good sleep. You know all that stuff. But they say eat salad a lot because green vegetables are excellent for you, and get out in the sun. Vitamin D, even if it's cold outside, sun helps you. But avoid alcohol and sugar because it takes a lot for your body to process alcohol and sugar. And if you're fighting off an illness, it's spending all that time trying to process the sugar instead of fighting off the illness. So stay away from alcohol and sugar through New Year's, and they say that you will probably not get sick. If it's too late and you're already sick, then I don't know, Tammy flu, something like that. Those life hacks and many more at johnjaneRich.com.
I have to tell you about a couple TV shows I'm watching. And I'm surprised I haven't heard anybody here talk about it. But you know what the number one show on Netflix is?
Yeah.
The Madness.
Yeah.
Did you start it yet?
I started watching it.
How
this
far are you?
morning. Not very far. I think I'm like halfway into the first episode.
Okay, but a lot happens in that first
Yes,
episode.
a lot
Yeah.
happens.
Okay, I'm like on episode 6 or 7.
Oh, you're rolling.
Yeah, it's called The Madness. And it is absolutely madness every episode. Like, I'm starting to get upset.
Really?
Yes, because I'm just like, there's just so many.
Upset because it's like not realistic, or upset because it's just so intense?
It's a little bit of both. But somebody, let's just say our boss, who I don't know his TV skills, but he asked me, are you watching this show? I'm on episode 3 and it's really good. And I was like, no, let me check it out. So I'm watching it. So I haven't judged his TV cred yet.
Okay.
So I don't know. Right.
Well, episode 3, he's in, and he's already liked it, and you're not sure yet. And you're in episode
no, I
6.
like it. I need conclusion. I'm in. It's a very exciting
They're gonna
show,
tie it
but it's
together?
just not like
So
it's
much action. Like
So
literally,
chaotic.
like I said, I'm only halfway into the first episode, and the main character guy has already witnessed a murder and is almost on the run from the cops. Like
Right.
in,
A
within
murder,
the
like
first episode.
a body chopped up.
Yeah,
in pieces.
like
Well,
gruesome.
Yeah. And it's Dion Cole's in it, and he's not the star, which is weird because I like him. He's the guy from Average Joe, or that
Yeah.
Joe, remember?
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah.
plumbing show. Another show, Lioness, which is on Paramount Plus. Freaking fantastic.
I
show.
told you.
It's fantastic.
Even if you haven't seen season 1, you can start with season 2, episode
Yeah.
1, and it's like a very exciting, like CIA espionage army movie. I think like the first episode is
Yeah.
awesome, and
Landman.
then it gets deeper and deeper.
Landman with Billy Bob Thornton also was really, really, really good too.
Is that on Paramount Plus too?
Paramount Plus, same guy that made all those.
Taylor Sheridan,
Yeah.
both of those are his shows.
Now, did you watch the Ted Danson show?
Yeah.
Did you
Man
like
on
it?
the Inside. I did like
It was
it.
cute, right?
It's a cute show.
Yeah,
He's
I
like,
started that.
he goes into like a retirement home and is like trying to find whoever stole the necklace, and he just becomes friends with everyone. And he realized he really was lonely before he did it. And
But the dementia part is so sad.
so
My
sad.
aunt, I was with my aunt Rosita yesterday. She has dementia, and it's moving pretty fast.
no.
But my uncle's, she's like 80, and so my uncle's like, she comes in, and she's in the kitchen in El Paso, and she's like, "How did I get here?" My uncles go, "We don't know, but you were totally naked." And she's like, "What?"
total different approach than Ted Danson.
I know, totally different. Anyway.